In today's class, we'll continue with where we have left off in the previous chapter, that is your radioactivity. Okay, now before Curie invented the radio radium, okay, people knew that there are, I mean, some powerful radiation is actually present, but this radioactivity has come and much was contributed after Curie invented radium. Now, why actually, if you ask me, okay, is why this radioactivity by a nucleus? If you ask me, the answer to this question will be okay. Ultimate reason for everything will be to attain stability. Okay, to attain stability. Now, how do you decide which atom or nucleus is more stable? That for this explanation of stability, there are many reasons. Okay, many reasons are there. Okay, so what are those reasons if you ask me? Okay, so one, you can say alpha particle emission, beta minus, beta plus, gamma radiation, these particles emission, or else even odd ratios, even ratios, odd ratios of ratio of neutron to proton, or it could even be, okay, it could even be 4n series, 4n plus 1 series, 4n plus 2 radioactive series, like this. Then lot of other many reasons are there to explain, but out of all this, okay, a significant factor that is considered is, as I have discussed in the previous lecture, binding energy per nucleon is the ultimate thing for stability. Okay, this is your ultimate criteria. Okay, so why radioactivity occurs means to attain stability, and because of how do you attain stability means lot of reasons are there. Out of that, most important is binding energy per nucleon. Okay, so to increase the binding energy, or I can say to maximize binding energy per nucleon, nucleus undergoes disintegration by emission of particles. So by emission of alpha, beta, gamma, all these radiations. Okay, now what are these radiations? How do you actually uh, determine this? What is happening, I will tell you. Okay, now this radioactivity actually was discovered by Becquerel. Okay, it was discovered by Becquerel. Now, what is this radioactivity? I will tell you. Okay, so now if you take a nucleus, okay, if you take a big nucleus, from this big nucleus, okay, from this big nucleus, there are different particles that will be emitted from this nucleus. Okay, so mostly your atomic number greater than 83, all those atoms will usually be unstable. Okay, so unstable nucleus, to attain stability, what it will do is it will emit some energy. Okay, it will emit some energy. Okay, so this nucleus, okay, around 2500 known nucleides are there. Okay, around 2500 known nucleides are there. Out of this, only 260 are stable. Okay, if you ask me, I'll say this: out of 2500 known nucleides, only 260 are stable. Okay, and remaining are unstable. Okay, and all these 2500 known nucleides, what they will do is they will emit different radiations called as alpha, beta, gamma electromagnetic radiations. Okay, so Becquerel first invented this radioactivity. Okay, now the stability depends upon, okay, nuclear stability depends upon both protons and neutrons, okay. Yeah, and some say that ratio should be close to 1, some will say less than 1, greater than 1, lot of things are there, okay. But we'll talk about the stability factors later. But for now, okay, understand that, okay, your nucleus to attain stability, it can emit basically, okay, what are the radiations, I'll tell you, okay. It can basically emit four radiations, okay. One is called as alpha decay, first one is alpha decay, second one is, okay, beta decay, okay, beta minus decay, and beta plus decay, and there is one more called as electron capture, and one more is your gamma radiation, okay. Like this there are different things, okay. So the nucleus that you have, okay, which is unstable, to attain stability it can give one of these or remaining ones, okay. Now out of this, all these are particles, okay, all these are particles except this gamma radiation. Gamma radiation is energy, it is not a particle, no mass, okay. Gamma radiation will not have anything, it is having only energy, okay. Gamma, alpha decay, beta minus, beta plus decays and electron captures, in all these, okay, there is some mass associated with it, but this gamma radiation nothing will happen, okay. Now what happens is, okay, there are basically totally how many types means 5 kinds, okay. There are totally 5 kinds of radioactive decay, okay. A nucleus, what it will do is, okay, that nucleus that you have, okay, what it will do is it will emit 5 of these radiations, okay. It can give 5 it can undergo 5 kinds of radioactive decay like this, okay. So close your eyes, remember this information: alpha decay, beta minus, beta plus, electron capture and radiation, okay. Now in each case what will happen, I will tell you, okay. In each case what will happen, let me tell you. So what did I tell you? First, if you take this alpha decay, okay, if you take alpha decay, okay, this alpha decay, okay, this alpha decay, if an element ZXA undergoes alpha decay, what will happen is it will transform into a new daughter nucleus which is called as A minus 4 plus 2He4, okay. So what is this, I will tell you, okay. This particle is called as alpha particle. What is this alpha particle is doubly ionized helium nucleus, doubly ionized helium nucleus, okay, doubly ionized helium nucleus, okay. So it is doubly ionized helium nucleus, okay. This is your nucleus, okay, helium nucleus. This is your parent nucleus, this is your daughter, okay, daughter nucleus, and this is also your daughter nucleus, okay, right. So always ladies first, right. So even the nucleus is named after ladies only. It should have given sun nucleus, it could have been better, but people will give daughter nucleus, right. So usually it happens. Right. So now your alpha particle is this one, okay. Now when alpha particle is emitted, okay, the important points that you are supposed to note is, okay, in alpha particle emission, okay, atomic number reduces by 2, atomic number reduces by 2, atomic number reduces by 2, mass number reduces by 4, mass number reduces by 4, okay. And remember, okay, whenever mass number is changing, that means definitely alpha particle is going to be there, okay. So whenever mass changes, okay, whenever mass number changes, in all other radiations what will happen is atomic number will change. Okay, so this is your atomic number. Okay, for those of you who forgot, this top one is your mass number. Okay, I am talking of whenever mass number changes. Okay, I am talking of mass number. So whenever mass number changes, there will be, okay, there will be emission of alpha particle. There will be emission of alpha particle. Okay, so come on, please do take screenshot of this. Okay, right? So remember that. Okay, your atomic number reduces by 2, mass number will be getting reduced by 4. Okay, and mostly it is the only emission in which mass number will change. Okay, this is your alpha decay. Okay, right? Next moving ahead to 2. Okay, moving ahead to 2. Okay, beta particle. Okay, in beta particle there will be two things. Okay, one is beta minus and other is beta plus. Okay, sometimes people call this as positron also. Okay, so this positron part will talk. Okay, but remember, okay, your beta particle, two things are there. Okay, beta minus and beta plus. Okay, beta plus is your positron. Now this beta particle, okay, in this beta particle, if beta minus emission occurs and if beta plus emission occurs, what will happen? I will differentiate it. Okay, so it emits, when a nuclide emits beta minus particle, what will happen is ZXA, if it is emitting some beta minus, your atomic number will increase by 1, minus 1 beta 0 plus it is anti-neutrino plus energy. Okay, this is your anti-neutrino. Okay, so with beta minus anti-neutrino will occur. This is anti-neutrino. Okay, right? So this beta minus is okay, this beta minus is, okay, it is not present in nucleus initially. Okay, it will not be present in nucleus initially. It is not present in nucleus initially, but okay, but what will happen is, okay, but what will happen is from neutron, okay, but from neutron it gets produced. Okay, so if you take a neutron 0 and 1, what will happen is it will get converted into hydrogen nucleus plus minus 1 beta 0 plus anti-neutrino. Okay, so your beta minus particle is produced from neutron itself. Okay, now when a proton is getting converted into neutron, okay, here neutron is getting converted into, okay, neutron is getting converted into proton, beta minus and anti-neutrino are actually originating from this. Okay, now if you take this positron, okay, positron will not have independent existence. Okay, it comes from the proton itself. So what happens when proton positron is actually getting emitted? First let me write the equation. So your ZXA, if it emits positron, this will become y times z minus 1 into a plus 1 times beta power 0 plus neutrino. Okay, this is your neutrino. Okay, so it is neutrino. So this box, first you remember this, beta minus if it is emitted. Okay, what happens if you observe this blue color box? Okay, this atomic number is getting increased by 1 in beta minus. Here atomic number is getting decreased by 1 in case of positron. Okay, so let me put box even for this. So these equations you must remember. Okay, now how do you actually get beta particle? I will tell you. So if you have a proton, if that proton is splitting, okay, from proton only this will generate. Okay, from proton you can have one neutron plus one positron plus antineutrino. Okay, sorry, neutrino, not antineutrino, neutrino. Okay, so with beta plus neutrino, with beta minus antineutrino. Okay, this also you should remember. Okay, so beta plus neutrino, beta minus antineutrino. Okay, right? So beta particle emission, this is what happens when beta minus is there. Okay, atomic number increased by 1. Here atomic number increased by 1. Okay, that is the ultimate thing. Here atomic number decreased by 1. Okay, when this is getting emitted. Okay, now in the denominator, if you take a total charge, that is total number of protons, it is nothing but your charge conservation. So left hand side if you have z protons, right hand side also you must have z protons. So that is why this equation will get balanced like this. Okay, so it is regarding your beta particle. Okay, right. Next, now if you take, okay, if you take electron capture. Okay, third one is your electron capture. So in electron capture, what will happen is, okay, sometimes to attain stability your nucleus may capture the electron. So if you have ZXA, if electron capture occurs, okay, electron capture occurs, this will become Z minus Ya plus neutrino. Okay, so here it is neutrino, this is your electron. Okay, so observe carefully, when this is getting -1 you are getting neutrino released. Okay, when atomic number is getting decreased, you are getting a neutrino released by the nucleus. Okay, so this is your electron capture. Okay, right. Next, now one more. Okay, last one is your gamma decay. Okay, so your gamma decay is, okay, previously it was 2, you can see this is 3, this is 4, and your fifth one is your gamma decay. So if a nucleus is in excited state, okay, the star indicates that it is your excited state. Okay, no disintegration is there, it's just simple excitation. So because of excitation, what will happen is it will split into two parts. So this is your gamma radiation, this is your nucleus. Okay, much of nuclear configuration will not change. Here no change in Z or A. In all the previous cases Z changed. Okay, but in gamma radiation Z did not change. In all previous cases A changed except sorry, A did not change except in, okay, alpha particle emission. Okay, so now all these you summarize. Okay, so here, okay, so final conclusion that I want you to take is, okay, if I write it in terms of simple equation, for example, if an atom is undergoing alpha particle decay, or if some nucleus is there like this, it will become Z minus 2x times A minus 4 plus 2He4. If it is undergoing beta minus decay, if it is ZXA like this, then this will become some, okay, nucleus will not be same. I should not write X, I should write some Y. In beta minus particle, this will become Z plus Y, A plus minus 1, beta 0, antineutrino. Okay, next, if it is beta plus decay, what is happening? If it is some ZXA nucleus, what is happening? This is getting converted into Y times Z minus A plus. It is plus 1 beta 0 positron plus neutrino. If it is electron capture, okay, electron capture means it is on the positive side. Okay, so electron capture, it is occurring like this, then this will become Z minus A Y times A plus I told you Z minus 1 neutrino. Okay, it's not antineutrino, neutrino. Okay, this symbol is neutrino. This symbol is antineutrino. Okay, and if it is gamma radiation, the nucleus in excited state, okay, it will just get converted into a simple nucleus. That's all. Plus gamma radiation. Okay, so this is your gamma radiation. Okay, right? So these are the five types of basic disintegrations. Okay, what laws it will follow I'll give you, but try to understand that. Okay, your nucleus, if it is giving radioactivity, then that nucleus will be emitting any of these five radiations. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be any of these five, and they will ask you in chemistry questions related to this. They will give you this nucleus, if it is getting converted into this nucleus, how many alpha particles and beta particles are emitted. Such kind of straightforward questions they will ask. Okay, in physics I don't need to discuss those because you will be able to do those. Okay, so I don't need to waste my time. Okay, right? Next, now next thing is, okay, your properties of, okay, your properties of alpha, beta, gamma radiations. Okay, so I'll, you can tabulate it like this. Okay, so features, why to waste time? In books there will be a table related to this. I will directly load that table. Wait, now if you take this figure, okay, there are differences given for everything. Okay, so identity, alpha particle is identified by 2He4 nucleus, beta particle it is beta minus or beta plus. Okay, and gamma rays, they are photons, they are nothing but your electromagnetic waves. Alpha particle charge plus 2e, beta, if nothing is mentioned, if beta particle you have to take beta minus, not positron. Okay, so here not much information is given about positron, but very clearly you remember nothing is mentioned, please take beta minus particle, beta minus. Okay, so here it is like beta minus only. So charge is minus e, gamma rays charge 0, mass relations, speed of light 10 power 7, 99%, range of kinetic energies. Okay, then penetration power. Okay, penetration power is, if you look at this, it is very high for gamma, for beta it is little more, and this ionization power, whereas it is reverse, ionization power is more for alpha particle. Okay, theoretical bits they will give you in the exam, so you should be able to tick it. And coming to this deflection, whichever particle is having charge it will get deflected, whichever particle is not having any charge it will not get deflected. Okay, so close your eyes, remember these properties. Okay, read this content, just have a look, pause the video clip, you remember these properties, then move ahead. Okay, this information is more than enough. Okay, I don't need to waste much time. Okay, now you have seen radio, I mean what kinds of radioactivity is there. Okay, now what I'll do is, okay, what I'll do is, next I'll explain, okay, radioactive series. Okay, radioactive series. So this information I will not go too much deep as much as you study in chemistry, but whatever is required I will tell you. Okay, now usually if you take, okay, your thorium. Okay, thorium is one of the, thorium, lead, neptunium, bismuth, all these are like more commonly byproducts. Okay, more commonly byproducts that you get in the nuclear reactions. Okay, so that radioactive series, okay, basically that radioactive series are classified into four types. Okay, what are those four types I will tell you. Okay, so I mean one radioactive decay will give one daughter nucleide. Okay, so for example, my point is, if you have ZXA like this, and if you have some alpha particle emission, for example, this can be 2He4 like this. Fine. Now, how do you know that this is stable or not? Okay, this could give you into some thorium or some lead, or it could give you some neptunium. This could give you bismuth. Which byproduct? This can further disintegrate into this, or out of this can disintegrate into this, or this, or this. What kind of reactions will happen is explained by this radioactive series. Okay, it's just a chemistry logic. Okay, but for understanding sake only, I will give you little information. Okay, I will not dive into uh, chemistry part too much, but you should know, okay, in the options, to just to tick some basic information that to help you out in the chemistry. So uh, one isotope, okay, you can say it helps, radioactive series helps in, okay, daughter nucleus, whether it emits, okay, whether it emits radioactivity. Okay, daughter nucleus also could emit radioactivity. Sometimes only alpha particle emission will not happen. Alpha beta together, alpha gamma together, or beta minus beta plus electron capture together. Anything can happen. Okay, so I'm talking of that combination. Okay, so in that combination, okay, in that combination, your mass number, okay, and your series, okay, series nature, okay, that means your end product, okay, end product, series nature, parent from which it is coming, then stable end product, okay, stable end product, and your integer, okay, integer. So now, for chemistry sake, I am giving, if your mass number is 4n, okay, it is in the order of 4 times some integer, okay, that series will become as thorium series. Okay, and usually for those series, your parent will be 90 thorium 232, and stable end product will be 82 pb 208, and your integer is 52. If you observe carefully, okay, 4 times 52 is 4 2s are 8, 4 5s are 20, 208. Okay, so 208, okay, this is not, okay, so this 4n series is because the 208 is 4 times 52. Okay, right, this is your 4n series. In 4n series, okay, mostly your stable end product is 82 pb 208. Okay, don't think thorium is always 90 232. It can be 90 something else, it can be 90 thorium something else. Okay, so that's why parent we should not worry, we should only worry about the end product. Okay, your stable end product is this. Okay, right, next. Now for 4n plus 1 series, okay, for 4n plus 1 series, it is called as neptunium series. Okay, and here artificial transmutation means we need to give, okay, we'll make this reaction happen, and whereas this is natural. Okay, so stable nuclide that are present in nature are mostly are of thorium series. For neptunium series, we will do some chemical reactions and get it. Okay, so your neptunium series parent will be 93 and 237. Okay, 93 neptunium 237, 83 bismuth 209. This is also your n value is 52. Okay, because 4 times 52 plus 1 is 209. Okay, right, next let me change to some other color. Next is your uranium 4n plus 2 series. Okay, it is also natural. Okay, it is also natural. Your uranium 92 to 38, most commonly used and in nuclear reactors, you will get this. Even for this, your stable end product is 82 pb 208. Okay, so even number, if you take 4n 4n plus 2, all those are even numbers. Even numbers mostly you will get lead only. Okay, 82 pb 208, and here it is 51. Okay, integer n value is 51. Okay, to decide in chemistry nuclear reactions, this will help you out. Okay, so which they will give you some parent nucleus and what is the end product means, you should be able to decide. Okay, if it is belonging to 4n plus 1 series, your end stable nucleus should be bismuth. If it is belonging to 4n plus 2 series, your end stable product must be lead. Okay, so chemistry part, okay, don't worry. So next is your actinium. It is also natural. For this, your actinium is 89 to 37. Okay, so almost it will be close to 230s only. Okay, greater than 83 atomic number, almost every nucleus will start emitting electromagnetic radiation. Okay, those properties I will give separately. So this will become 82 pb 237, sorry, 207. It's not 237. Okay, it is 207. Okay, and your n value is 51. Okay, so this radioactive series, just to decide chemical reactions in physics, they have stopped giving these kind of questions. Okay, so around 2003-4 time, while the paper was subjective, people have been giving these kind of questions, but now recently in multiple choice they have stopped asking these questions. Instead they are focusing on how to apply the physics ideas rather than giving the chemical reactions. Okay, so now let's continue further. So you have seen, what you have seen is so far. Okay, let me summarize. Why radioactivity? To attain stability. That explanation of stability comes from many reasons. One is alpha beta particle gamma emissions, even odd rule, odd rule, even rule. Then your series 4n 4n plus 1, that kind of series also is the explanation given. But out of all this, okay, all this part, that circle that I mentioned here is for chemistry sake. But for physics sake, one logic that we ultimately give is why radioactivity means our ultimate factor is to maximize the binding energy per nucleon. More binding energy per nucleon will uh, help us to explain the stability. Okay, so more binding energy per nucleon, more stability. Then to attain this stability, okay, our nucleus undergoes radioactivity. That radioactivity is basically of 5 categories. Okay, one is alpha particle emission, second one is beta particle. Okay, and in beta particle, this beta minus, if nothing is mentioned, take this as your default one. But in beta particle there are two emissions, one is beta minus and beta plus. Electron capture is there, then followed by gamma radiation. Now only in this mass number change occurs. Okay, and in gamma radiation no change in z, no delta z or no delta a. Okay, no change in atomic number or mass number. Then if alpha decay occurs, this alpha particle emission occurs. Okay, and if beta minus occurs, this will occur, and if beta plus occurs, this will happen. If electron capture occurs, okay, this will happen, and if gamma decay occurs, nothing will happen. We have seen that. Then your properties of alpha beta gamma rays I have given. Then your radioactive series, for chemistry sake, sometimes you will get some stable starting product and end product. So based on that, which reaction is correct, they could give you options. Out of those, based on the stable end product part, okay, 1 2 3 4, to which series it belongs, you decide and then take the correct answer. Okay, if it belongs to 4n series, 82 pb 208 is the stable end product. If it belongs to 4n plus 1, decide from 83 bismuth 209. Okay, so this series is what I have given. Now I have explained. Okay, stability part, binding energy per nucleon is there. Okay, in chemistry you will study in detail regarding the binding energy per stability curve. Okay, and then some other important points. Okay, but that and all you will study in chemistry. So if time is there, I will discuss those. Else, I will limit my explanation only to basic questions. Okay, so the question is, okay, let me give you a simple question. Okay, just to check, then I will go for radioactive loss. Okay, what is the question is, a radioactive nucleus A undergoes alpha particle emission and gives A1, then it undergoes beta minus emission and it becomes A2, then alpha particle A3, then gamma radiation A4. Question is, this A is 70 to 180. Okay, find, okay, find Z and atomic, okay, Z and you can say mass number and atomic number of A4. Find mass number and atomic number of A4. Okay, 1 minute time, try answer to this question. Okay, next directly we'll go to uh, radioactivity. Alright, hope you have tried for sufficient amount of time. So this will become, what is A1 means, okay, directly within the question itself we will do it. A1 will become, because alpha particle is what, 2He4, so this will become 70, 72 will become 70, 180 should become 176, okay, because only one alpha particle is actually being emitted. Okay, next, beta minus, so 70 will become what, 60, 71. Okay, if it is beta minus 71, 176. Alpha particle, this will become 69, 172. Okay, 69, 172. Gamma radiation, no change. So your final answer is, atomic number is 69, mass number is 172. Okay, right? This is your beta minus. Okay. Right. Now, I'll give some little extra information based on the stability curve, because if I do that, then I don't need to come back. Directly I can enter into the radioactive loss. So now your next heading that I'll keep is, okay, next heading that I'll keep is, the picture did not come. Right. Now, if you try to explain your binding energy per nucleon factor for explanation of stability, your binding energy per nucleon graph, okay, this is your B by Z indirectly, okay, so that was plotted by scientists for different elements. Okay, so here if you look at this, this is your binding energy per nucleon, and in the x-axis you have, okay, in the x-axis you have your mass number, okay, nucleon number indirectly. Now if you look at this graph, the graph given by scientists, it has actually come like this, and it will be explained in chemistry in detail, but brief information, key points, let me summarize out of this. Okay, so I told you binding energy per nucleon is the ultimate reason for stability. Okay, so for key information that you are supposed to take from the graph given by scientists, okay, this you will study in chemistry, but key points. Okay, for lighter nuclei, for lighter nuclei, for lighter nuclei, binding energy per nucleon is small. Okay, it was found out experimentally, it is close to 1 mega electron volt. Okay, right? Then it rapidly increases up to number 20, and there will be some peaks for helium, carbon, oxygen, okay, indicating that they are stable. Okay, but all that information that we will study in chemistry, but important points I will tell you. Okay, so what happens is, okay, binding energy per nucleon, okay, is maximum for, okay, maximum for 26 Fe56, and its value is 8.8 mega electron volt. Okay, right? So this is your most stable nucleus you can assume, okay, because the binding energy per nucleon is very close. Okay, so between 4 and 120 mass number, binding energy is close to 8.5 mega electron volt. Okay, I can say around. Okay, between mass number 4 and 120. Lighter nucleus means below 4, it is close to 1 mega electron volt. Okay, and then greater than 120, okay, greater than 120, binding energy will be in the order of around 7.6 mega electron volt. Okay, around that it will be there. Okay, so ultimate factor is binding energy per stability, binding energy per nucleon, so that is maximum for this iron. Okay, so in the graph if you observe this region, okay, it is close to 8. Okay, so that is why in this region it is between 8 and 9. Okay, so this information you remember. Okay, this is your ultimate criteria. Now apart from this I told you, no, okay, so sometimes you need to decide the answers based on some rules. Okay, so that is your n by z ratio, that is your neutron proton ratio. Okay, your neutron proton ratio, okay, this will also help in deciding the stability. Okay, so light nuclei, okay, for light nuclei n by z value is 1. Okay, for light nuclei n by z value is 1. Okay, and greater than 83, no stable nucleides. Okay, no stable nucleides. Okay, sometimes, okay, in the questions they will give you. Okay, so for light nuclei n by z, if it is close, more stable. Okay, right? Heavy if n by z should be greater than 1. For heavy nucleides n by z should be greater than 1, then those nucleides will be more stable. Okay, so based on this, if options come, you can take chemistry. Okay, next, even or odd numbers of, even or odd numbers of z or n. Okay, based on this also you can explain stability, but I'm giving all this for extra information sake. Ultimate criteria is this only, binding energy per nucleon, ultimate, sorry, a ultimate. Okay, this is your ultimate criteria. Okay, all this is just to tick options. Okay, right? Next, even on odd numbers. Okay, even is more stable, more stable compared to, okay, even z and even n I am talking of. Okay, even z and even n is more stable compared to odd z even n. Okay, right, this is another extra point. Okay, and only 5 stable odd nucleus are there. Okay, odd combination, odd z odd n is not stable, but only 5 stable odd nucleides are there with odd configuration. Okay, so in chemistry they can ask you as counter examples, is 1h2 stable? Yes, from this 3Li6, 5be10, okay, 7n14, and some 75ta180. Okay, so these are counter examples. Okay, in chemistry they will ask you. Okay, you should, if you remember this, you will be able to directly take the answers. Okay, right. So ultimately binding energy, that's all. Okay, nothing else. Okay, nothing else is important. Binding energy per nucleon, if options binding energy is given as a factor, tick answer based on binding energy per nucleon. If it is not given and you are given options, from these rules you decide. Okay, right. So now okay, you have seen this part. Okay, this is your basic information. Now all this is what? Theory. Now let's enter into the core part, that is your loss of radioactive disintegration. Loss of radioactive disintegration. I told you so and so particle will emit fire and everything. Okay, but this part is what is important. Okay, now what are these laws? I will tell you. Okay, because in the problems from this is where you will get the questions. You are given, let us say, at t equal to 0 some n naught number of nuclei. After time t, what is the number of nuclei present? Okay, after time t1, after time t2, how much will be present? After time t3, what will happen? After time half life, what will happen? Like these kind of questions you are supposed to answer in the exam. This is the area from where questions could come, and in the recent years they have been asking some decent number of questions based on this disintegration and activity. Okay, so from here this problems part of this chapter we'll do it. Okay, so what is this? I'll tell you. Okay, now, okay, your Rutherford Soddy laws are there. Okay, that is not so important, but still, if you are given some n naught number of nuclei like this. Okay, now if I number this nucleides 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, any nucleide, many combination of many nucleides are there, let us say. Now out of this, all atoms will have equal probability of disintegration. The disintegration in the sense emission of alpha, beta, gamma radiations. Okay, so it is independent of all physical and chemical conditions. Any atom, okay, so any atom has equal probability. Any atom has equal probability of disintegration. Okay, that is one thing. Okay, and this disintegration process is random and spontaneous. Okay, you can't say this will happen first, this will happen first. Anything can happen. Okay, so it all depends upon concentration, lot of other factors. Okay, but it is random and spontaneous. Okay, now this Rutherford Soddy gave these laws. Now based on these laws, okay, what he told was, if you have some n number of nuclei, okay, how many nuclei? N not number of nuclei are there. Okay, at t equal to 0, some n not number of nuclei are there. After time t, how many nuclei are present means n nuclei are present. Okay, at t equal to 0, n not nuclei are there. After time t, how many nuclei are there? N nuclei are there. Now, okay, what happened? Disintegration has occurred. Okay, disintegration has occurred. Now in the books some common terms will be there. Okay, we will calculate n as a function of time, n not everything we will calculate, don't worry, but some common terms are there. Okay, so in this disintegration, okay, in this disintegration, okay, you have n naught. Now at t equal to 0, n naught is what? N naught is number of nuclei present initially. Number of nuclei present initially. Okay. Next, after time t, what is n? Number of nuclei that are present. That are present. Okay, they did not disintegrate. Okay, they did not disintegrate. They did not disintegrate. They did not disintegrate. Okay, they did not disintegrate. But how many disintegrated? How many are actually disintegrated means, okay, after time t, okay, how many has actually disintegrated? Okay, how many have disintegrated means n minus n naught. Okay, n minus n naught is number of nuclei disintegrated. Number of nuclei disintegrated. Okay, and if you see the word t half, that means time for number of nuclei, time for number of nuclei to become, time for number of nuclei to become half of present value. Okay, half of the present value. Okay, I mean from the initial value. Okay, time to become half. Okay, so why all extra confusing statements? Okay, so first these are the terms. Okay, there is a nucleus. Okay, in the, I mean many nucleus, it's not even one, there are many, n naught are there. Out of that n naught, okay, after time t, n are remaining without disintegration. Okay, okay, and n minus n naught are number of nuclei that are actually disintegrated. Okay, this is disintegrated. Okay, some more extra information while problem solving that is required is your ln values. Ln 1 0, ln 2 0.693, ln 3 value is, okay, you should remember, if not for physics sake, at least chemistry sake, 1.098. Ln 4 can be written as ln of 2 square, that is equal to 2 ln 2. So ln 2 value you should bring it. Ln 5 value is 1.6094. Ln 6 is ln 2 plus ln 3. Ln a plus ln b is ln of ab. Okay, you can remember that. Ln 7, it is 1.9459. Ln 8, it is ln of 2 cube, that is equal to 3 ln t from logarithms properties. Ln 9, it is ln of 3 square, that is equal to 2 ln 3. Okay, so what are the values that you should remember? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ln values if you remember, and logarithmic properties, you can get all other values. Okay, so please do copy this, because our radioactive disintegration you will get ln and log values. Okay, so for those sake you need this information. All right, now let's continue further. So now I have introduced the basic terminology. Now, okay, your chemical kinetics, ionic equilibrium, you might have studied that. Your first order reaction is what you have studied. So your radioactivity is also a similar kind of first order reaction. Okay, in this first order reaction, okay, in this first order reaction, okay, what will happen, I will tell you. So if you have some n naught number of nuclei at time t equal to 0, and after time t some n number of nuclei are present. Okay, this is after time t. Now if it is undergoing a first order reaction, okay, so what will happen, the rate of decay of nuclei, rate of decay of nuclei is given by minus dn by dt. It is directly proportional to number of nuclei present. Okay, so now why this minus sign, negative sign, to indicate that n is decreasing. Negative sign is to indicate n is decreasing. Negative sign is to indicate that n is decreasing. What is n? Number of nuclei present at time t. Okay, so your rate of decay of nuclei is directly proportional to n. Minus dn by dt is directly proportional to n. Your dn by dt is equal to minus of lambda times n. Okay, dn by dt is equal to minus of lambda times n. This lambda is, okay, this lambda is your proportionality constant, or also called as very important decay constant. Okay, decay constant. What is n? Number of nuclei present after time t. Okay, keep this in mind. Okay, it is proportionality constant or decay constant. N is number of nuclei present after time t. Okay, it is also called as disintegration constant. Now we need to solve this equation. Okay, so what is the key physics idea? Dn by dt is equal to minus lambda n is the thing. Okay, so now let us try to solve this equation. Okay, so if you try to solve it, minus dn by dt, you are going to get it as lambda into n. Minus dn by n is lambda times dt. Hello, Karthik Unnava? Right. So now your minus dn by n is lambda times dt. Integral of minus dn by n is integral of lambda times dt. Now at time t equal to 0, your initial number of nuclei are n naught. After time t, if the number of nuclei are n, so now minus, you should have sent it to the other side. I'll do one thing, I'll send minus to this side. Okay, now what is integral of dn by n? In maths, your integral of dx by x is what? Ln x. Similarly, this will become ln n from n naught to n, that is equal to minus of lambda is constant, it is lambda times integral dt is t, lower limit 0 t. So ln n minus ln n naught is equal to minus lambda into t. Ln of n by n naught is equal to minus lambda t. N by n naught is equal to minus lambda t. So n is equal to n naught times e power minus lambda t. So very important relation. What is this? Number of nuclei present after time t. Okay, n naught, number of nuclei at t equal to 0. Okay, and what is number of decayed nuclei? Number of decayed nuclei is n minus n naught. So that is equal to sorry, n naught minus n, ulta. Okay, so that will become n naught times minus n is n naught times e power minus lambda t, that is equal to n naught times 1 minus e power minus lambda t. This is your decayed nuclei. Okay, and this is, I keep it as n dash, this is undecayed nuclei after time t. Okay, undecayed nuclei. Okay, so these are the relations that you have. Now if you want half life, okay, if you want half life, how will you get this half life? Is your half life value is, okay, t half represented by t half. We know that it is n equal to n naught times e power minus lambda t. So n naught by 2 is n naught times e power minus lambda times t half. N naught will go off. Ln 2 is minus lambda times t half times ln e to the base e, which is 1, minus ln 2. Okay, because 1 by 2 is minus ln 2. Minus minus will go off. So you are going to get t half is ln 2 by lambda. Ln 2 value is 0.693 by lambda. Okay, right? So this is your, okay, number of nuclei present. Okay, now apart from this, there is one more thing that is called as average life. Average life, T average. Okay, we have seen half life, we have seen average life. What is average life? I will tell you. Okay, now in general, if you are asked to calculate average power, it is integral p dt by integral dt. Okay, integral p dt by dt from t1 to t2 like this, t1 to t2 like this. Now here, what is your variable means? Your number here, power is varying with respect to time. Here what is varying means, okay, your number of nuclei is varying with respect to time. So following a similar kind of logic, your average life, if you try to calculate, your t average is given by integral of t times dn by integral dn from where to where means some n naught to 0. Okay, that means total number of nuclei to disintegrate, how much time it takes, that we are writing. Okay, so in place of n equal to n naught e power minus lambda t, if you take dn, dn will become n naught times e power minus lambda t times minus lambda times dt by dn. Okay, sorry, yeah, dt. Now bring this, substitute into this equation, do simplification, everything, you will get answer as 1 by lambda. Okay, so this is your basic idea. Okay, so now we have seen disintegration, we have seen average life. I will elaborate, don't worry. So your final summary, okay, final summary only based on what I have explained in radioactivity is, at time t equal to 0, if you have n naught number of nuclei, after time t, okay, after time t, if n number of nuclei are present, okay, so your first is your minus dn by dt is lambda times n is one relation. Second relation is, okay, your n is equal to n naught times e power minus lambda t. Third relation is t half is equal to ln 2 by lambda, which is 0.693 by lambda. Average t average is 1 by lambda. Then this will give you what? Number of undecayed nuclei after time t. N gives what? Number of undecayed nuclei after time t. After time t. Okay. Number of decayed nuclei is, number of decayed nuclei is, okay, n minus n naught. Okay, so that will give you the required answer. Yeah, with this we will stop today. So this will become it is n naught minus n, sorry, so it is n naught minus n naught times e power minus lambda t, so it will become n naught times 1 minus e power minus lambda t. Okay, so you just remember all these values. Okay, yeah, so with this we will continue tomorrow.